Good evening.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Vani. Today we're going to learn some basic vocabularies for colors, numbers, time, and days of the week and such. Okay, so let's get started. Can you tell me what this color is? I'm pretty sure both of you are familiar, so you can unmute and answer. Yeah.
Red, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
Yes.
Yellow.
Yes.
Blue.
So, what does these three colors are called together? Do you know?
Uh, Basic colors, ma'am. Basic.
They're called
Main colors.
as, yeah, they're called as primary colors.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Primary.
Okay.
Primary. Okay, ma'am.
So these three are the primary colors. They're called as primary colors because if we mix all these colors together is how we get all the other shades of colors. So that's the reason they're called as primary
Primary
colors.
colors.
Yes. So who can tell me what this color is?
Orange.
Yes. Are you familiar with which two primary colors would you mix to get this? Ratnesh?
Red and yellow.
Yes. Ratnesh, you are muted. You have to answer the next one, okay? Yes, Vani, you can mix red and yellow to get orange. Yes, Ratnesh. Which is this?
Green.
Uh-huh. Which two primary colors can you mix to get green? You saw primary colors, right? We have. What are the three primary colors?
Red, yellow, blue.
Yes. So Vani told us if we mix red and yellow, we get orange. What are the next two colors we mix? We'll get green. You know Vani? Vani, can you tell me? Hello? Did I lose connection? Just give me 1 second. Yes, sorry about that. So you have three primary colors. The first two, red and yellow, if you mix, you'll be getting orange. If you mix yellow and blue, is when you get green. Okay? You mix yellow and blue to get green. What is this? What is the next color called?
Purple. Purple.
Yes, purple. So which is the last combination left to get purple?
Blue and red, ma'am.
Very good. So if you mix blue and red is when we get purple.
Purple.
Yes. So what is this color?
Brown.
Good. Then we have
Mm,
it's the same color as the slide. Which
White.
color is? Yes.
White.
White. Then
Black.
yes. So we have white and black in the last. Okay, so these are just some basic colors for you to recall when we are speaking about description and things. Okay, that's the reason we're just recalling some very common vocabulary here. So that's about colors. Now we'll be moving on to some numbers, dates, and time. Okay. So why is it important for us to learn number, date, and time in English? Because when we are talking about anything, it gives a clarity, and we can talk about precise things if we know how to use numbers in our speech. Then it's very important for daily interactions, right? Like for you may have to tell time, what's the date today, what's the time today. So different kinds of phrases you use to speak about these things can be very important. Then you can have a professional communication as well. So in if you're setting up a meeting and things like that, right, you need to be very accurate and you need to be on time, so you can use them in such settings as well. Then you have travel and navigation. If you want to go out somewhere on a holiday vacation, you might have to book your buses, right? Then you have to say your proper time, proper date, and everything. You need to be organized. So even in such scenarios, learning number, dates, and times can prove very useful. Then you have business interactions, just as professional communications also helps in your academic and learning pursuits. Then you have social connections. Just maybe you're just meeting your friend for a coffee, right? And then you want to talk about the place and time, so you don't have to miss those things. So you can sound very smart about these things when you're making a conversation. So let's see what those words and things are. All right. So, firstly, we are talking about cardinal numbers. What are cardinal numbers? They are just basic numbers that we have learned, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, these are very simple counting numbers that are called as cardinal numbers. This is not the name is not really important for you to remember, but it's just easy. Like if I say use cardinal number, then you will know what you should be using, so just keep that in mind. C is for count, right? So the numbers you use for counting is cardinal numbers. Okay, so this represents quantity. So when you're talking about one, you mean just one thing. So when you want to count something is when you're using this kind of numbers. Then um, then you have something called as ordinal numbers. So this is used to talk about a position or a order in a sequence. So just like how for count we said cardinal number, like that for order you're saying ordinal numbers. Okay, so imagine a competition. So somebody comes first, somebody comes second, somebody comes third. So then you say first, second, third. You don't say he's one, he's two, he's three, right? So keep that as an example in your mind to remember those things. So your ordinal numbers would be first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Okay, 1 to 10 again in ordinal numbers. So, cardinal number is used to count something, ordinal number is used to indicate the order of something or position of something. So, let's see some example. Oh, all right, I'll come back to this slide in a bit. Let's see the examples first. Okay, so these are the examples for cardinal and ordinal numbers. So, first sentence here says there are five people in the room. So, now we are counting the number of people, right? That's the reason we have used five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we are counting the number of people. So, we say there are five people in the room. Then she has two cats and three dogs. It's giving you the count of the cats and dogs again. So you say she has two cats and three dogs. I need to buy eight pencils for my art project. Okay, we are just seeing different examples of how to count things. Okay, different examples of where to use the cardinal number. So I need to buy eight pencils for the artwork. It's giving you the count of pencils again. The recipe calls for 14 ounces of flour. Okay, the number obviously does not end at 10. You have 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Just basic numbers. So you can use any of that for counting. Here it says the recipe calls for 14 ounces of flour. Ounces is a type of measurement. Okay, it means like it is around 2.5 or 3.2 grams is 1 ounce. Okay, so that's a type of measurement which is ounce. It's called as ounce. So here they're saying to make some recipe, they need 14 ounces of flour. Flour. Okay. Then he has visited 10 different countries. So these are your example statements for cardinal numbers. Let's see the ordinal numbers similarly. Okay, she finished fifth place in the race. Here you see, you're not saying she finished in five place, right? You have to, it's talking about position. So you say she finished in the fifth place in the race. He is the second person in line at the ticket. He is the second person in line at the ticket. The meeting is scheduled for 8th of July. 8th of July. So firstly for this word is pronounced as schedule or schedule. It you anything is correct, you can use anything you like, whichever is easy for you. Okay, I say you can use as schedule in American English, okay, schedule in British English. So, whichever you feel comfortable, you can use that. So, if you are feeling confused about the pronunciation, let me know, okay? I'll
If you
repeat
are
it.
feeling
Uh,
if you are feeling
Santosh, kindly stay muted, okay? Okay. So, I was talking about the pronunciation of this word. You can either say schedule or schedule. Both are correct. Then the sentence, the meeting is scheduled for 8th of July. So here you see this example. It's talking about one day in a month, right? It's a order of days. That is the order of the days is what you're counting here. Hence you're talking using a ordinal number saying 8th of July, not 8th of July. Okay, 8th of July with the TH. Then the movie will be shown on 14th of August. Again, a day in a month. We're talking about order 14th of August. The 10th floor of the building has a beautiful view. You're talking about a order again, right? First floor, second floor, like that you're talking. 10th floor of a building has a beautiful view. You use ordinal number again. So just remember, count is cardinal, order is ordinal number. All right. So let's see that previous slide. Yeah. Okay. So after first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th, now we are going how to count different tenths in your ordinal numbers, right? So for you, this you read it, you might have seen 2 and 20 and th there, right? So you read this number as 20th, okay, 20th, 30th, 30th, 40th, 40th. Even if you're on mute, please repeat after me whenever I'm repeating twice or more, okay? 40th, 50th, 50th, 60th, 60th, 70th, 70th, 80th, 80th, 90th, 90th. You can say 100th or just 100. 100. Okay. Anything is fine. 100 or just 100. Okay. So that is about ordinal numbers. These are some vocabulary used for counting system. Semi-annual. Does anybody know what semi-annual means? Semi-annual means once in 6 months. Okay, if an event is occurring once in every 6 months, you call it semi-annual. Semi-annual. You may have in your schools, you may have seen your exams, right? Semester exams or something semi-finals, things like that. So you call it when it's happening exactly in the middle of a year. Okay, 6 months, it happens once in 6 months, so they call it semi-annual. Then you have biannual. It means 2 times in a year. So don't get confused. Here, semi-annual, it's happening once exactly 6 months. Okay, biannual happens 2 times a year. Does not necessarily have to be once in 6 months. It can be any time, but twice a year. Okay, if an event is happening in 2 times a year, does not matter the gap between each other, then it is called as biannual. You may have heard biannual plants, right? Biannual flowering plants. It gives fruits twice a year. So that is biannual. Then you have annual, which means once a year. Once a year will be annual. This word is pronounced as biennial. Biennial. It is if an event happens once in 2 years. Okay. This word is biannual. This is biennial. Biannual and biennial. Biannual is 2 times in a year. Biennial is once in 2 years. Biennial. Okay. Tell me what is a decade. You must have heard this many times. What is a decade? Yes.
10.
Yes. A span of 10 years. Span of 10 years is called a decade. A span of 10 years is called a decade. What is a century?
100 years.
Yes. A span of 100 years is
Span.
span of 100 years is a century. If you're talking about hundreds of years, then you say centuries. Okay.
Okay.
Let me write it here. Plural will be centuries. Okay. For decade, a plural is just, you can say decades. Okay. This is plural. Decade and decades. Century, centuries. Then silver jubilee. Have you heard of silver jubilee?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is silver jubilee? Can you tell me?
25 years once.
Yes. A 25-year celebration or completion of 25 years is called as silver jubilee. A golden jubilee would be,
50 years.
yes, if something has completed for 50 years or stayed around for 50 years, it is called as Golden Jubilee. You might have heard some organizations and things, right? This company has. Today is the silver jubilee of this company. It means the company has functioned for 25 years. If it's golden jubilee, it's there for 50 years. Then diamond jubilee would be,
75.
yes,
75.
75. Then it last word is centenary. Centenary.
Centenary.
Yes. Ratnesh, can you guess? When do you call it centenary? Ratnesh, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you guess when do you say centenary?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you use this word centenary? You saw here silver jubilee is for 25 years, golden jubilee is 50 years, diamond jubilee is for 75 years, centenary would be for how many years?
100.
Yes. 100 years completion is called centenary. Make sure you're repeating the word after me even if you're on mute, okay, Ratnesh? Otherwise, you'll forget the words. Okay, centenary. All right. So we saw these examples. Now we are going to basic fractions. So here I have a cake, right? It's a brand new cake. It's all there. Nobody has eaten any pieces so far. So I will call this as a whole. Okay, this is a whole cake. What is a whole? Whole whole.
Complete. Uh, One
Yeah,
full.
I'm talking about the whole. So if something is broken or torn off, right? Maybe your cloth might have torn off somewhere. So then you say it there's a hole in my cloth, right? So that is a hole, okay?
Uh,
There is a opening in your cloth or a paper, right? You punch holes in the paper. That is hole. This is
WHOL.
whole. It's still,
Purna.
yes, it's still pronounced same. Okay, the pronunciation remains the same, but it's written with a W. Whole.
Okay.
Whole means complete.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a complete cake. I say it's a whole cake. I don't say it's a complete cake. Complete cake will be wrong. Okay, so you say whole.
Whole.
Okay, then you have half. If imagine an apple is cut right in the center, right? It's called half. 1/2. Example sentence: I ate half of the pizza. Okay, half. 1/2. Then you have quarter. If a whole is divided into four pieces, then it's called a quarter. One of the piece is called a quarter. That is 1/4. Okay, 1/4 is a quarter. She drank a quarter of the juice. So, imagine maybe you can give me one sentences. Can you use the image to make a sentence? Ratnesh, can you give me one sentence with half? Can you use half in a sentence?
I drink half of the cup of tea.
I drink a half cup of tea. I drink a
Half
half.
of uh, half
Half
of
cup.
cup
No
of.
half off.
Okay.
No half off.
I
Half
drink
cup.
half cup of tea.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Ratnesh, I want you to give me the next sentence. Can you use quarter in a sentence? I have given you an image. You can try taking help of that image and make a sentence.
I have a quarter of burger.
Good, good. I have a quarter of burger. Means you have just one by fourth of this burger, right? It means you have this much only. Okay, that's a quarter. Okay, then you have third or one third. You can say any of it, which means one out of three pieces, right? You have imagine one piece. It's divided into three. You're talking about one of them. He finished a third of a book. So now what they're doing, one book, there's a book, divide the book into three equal divisions, right? He has read a third is what they're saying. A third or one third. He finished a third of the book. Yes, Vani, can you give me a sentence with the image? Vani,
Yes, ma'am.
sentence with third.
I complete one third of the giving questions.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we have three quarters, which means 3 by 4. You saw quarter is 1 by 4, right? So now you have 3 by 4. You call it as three quarters.
Yes.
Okay, three quarters. Three quarters of the puzzle is complete.
Mm.
Ratnesh, can you give me one sentence with this image?
I have a three quarter of a uh,
Yeah.
of a pizza.
Okay, good. Okay, so now you have 2/3. See what I want you to notice is the numerator is your cardinal number because it's giving you how many pieces you have. So it's a count, right? It's a count. You're counting how many pieces it's there or you have. So the numerator is read with the cardinal number, whereas the denominator is read with the ordinal number. 2/3, 2/3, which is 2 out of 3 pieces, is what you're telling. So 2/3 of of the class passed the exam. Okay, can you try this? Can you try sentence Vani with 2/3? Yes, Vani. One simple sentence with 2/3. Use the image if you're finding it difficult. You can use the image. Vani, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I will think um, two-third of the content
Mhm.
I read. I read.
Can you interchange your subject and verb? I know I have not taught you that still. We'll talk about it, but you can say I read 2/3 of the content instead.
Okay.
Instead of saying I read in the end of the
I read.
sentence,
I read.
okay. Instead of saying that in the end of the sentence, you can put it in the beginning. I read 2/3
I
of
read
the contents.
2/3 of the content.
Good. Okay. So similarly, you can talk about any fraction, right? You can talk about any fraction in the world now if you want. All you have to do is use cardinal number to talk about the numerator, 5, and ordinal number for the denominator, 6. 5/6. Okay, 5/6. 5/6 of the cake was eaten at the party. Okay, so now you know how to read any fraction. The numerator should be read with the cardinal number, denominator as a ordinal number. Now, Ratnesh, I want you to look at this image and make a sentence for me. What fraction is it, and how will you give me a sentence? Think about it and answer.
I have a 5/6
Mhm.
a cake.
Okay, I have or I had 5/6 of a cake is a correct sentence. But I asked you to try with this image given here. First, count how many fractions do you have? How many pieces of a whole do you have? What fraction is this image? Can you tell me? Anyone?
Ma'am,
5,
once
What was
again.
that, Ratnesh?
5,
5. Yes. There are 5 pieces of this star. So, but what is the fraction here? You see, one is different, right? So, one will be your numerator and 5 will be your denominator. So, how will you read this fraction?
1/5.
Very good, 1/5. So, can you make a sentence now with this fraction and this image?
I have a I have a 1/5 of a star.
So, you're using I have in all the sentences. Let's see, Vani, can you try a different sentence with this image or something you like?
1/5, ma'am.
Yeah,
1/5.
can you describe this image with this fraction? Give one sentence to describe this image.
Uh, in our class, 1/5 of uh, students
Mhm.
uh, present this day today.
Can you repeat that sentence?
Today
Okay.
in our class,
Mm-hmm.
1/5 of uh, students present
Were present.
were present.
Okay. So again, Vani, active listening is not there for you. I
Uh,
said, give me one sentence to describe this image.
Describe this image.
So, okay. Shall I help you?
I cut the
Yeah, go on.
I I cut the 1/5 of
Mm-hmm.
picture.
Okay. Okay. So if I have to describe this image in one sentence, I would say
Oh, oh,
1/5 of of the star is colored yellow.
okay. Yes.
More appropriate sentence to describe the image. Okay.
1/5 of one.
1/5 of the star is colored yellow. So if I say that, immediately you'll think, okay, there is a star, one of its wing is colored yellow, right? It immediately
Oh,
gives you the image. So
okay.
whatever you did so far was correct. I asked you to give me any sentence. That's great. Now, when I'm asking you to describe the image, you have to describe
Mhm.
the image.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
just make sure you're listening to all the words in the sentences properly. Okay. So let's quickly recap all the words in for that we use for days and months. Okay. Ratnesh, can you tell me all the days of the week? Can you read it?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Hold
Wednesday,
on.
Thursday.
I want you to read it slowly and clearly. Okay, one by one. Yes.
Sunday,
Do you see on the slide the box? It says Monday first.
Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday.
Wednesday,
No.
Wednesday.
Vani, what was that?
Wednesday,
No, wait. Vani, what did you say? So, okay. So this word here is pronounced as Wednesday. D is silent. Okay. The letter D in Wednesday is silent. You don't say Wednesday, it is Wednesday. Wednesday. Can you repeat, Ratnesh? Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Yes, good. Continue.
Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday,
Mm-hmm.
Saturday,
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
Saturday,
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes, good. So it is important for us to put stress in the words where it is required to sound more uh, like elegant or like professional in English. You may have heard like native speakers speak so nicely. We say the same word, but we don't sound like them, right? It's not the accent that matters. It's what matters is the word stress. Where are you putting stress in the word? Which is the syllable that you are stressing on matters a lot to sound more native in English. Okay, so what you have to do is just saying Saturday instead of Saturday. Okay, Saturday. It sounds more native. Okay, Saturday. Then again, for you to remind this, D is silent. It's pronounced as Wednesday. Wednesday. Yes, Vani, all the months of the year.
January.
Mhm.
January.
January. Don't try say W there. There is no W, okay? January.
January.
Yes.
February.
Mm-hmm.
March.
Yes.
April.
Mm-hmm.
May.
Mm-hmm.
June.
Mm-hmm.
July.
Mm-hmm.
August.
Mm-hmm.
September.
Mm-hmm.
October.
Mm-hmm.
November. December.
Yes. Good. Okay. So this is a quick recap on days of the week and months of the year. Okay, months in the year. All right. So now we are going to move on to learn different. How do we talk about specific time? I have a sentence here. I go to school at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is a very specific time, right? So you use the preposition at before talking about that specific time. You say at. Remember, yesterday I told you if you're talking about a specific place, I go to school and like if you have to say the name of the school, you say at If you want to talk about the name of the place you work, you say at, right? I study biology at Mysore University.
Yes.
Similarly, when you're talking about specific time, also you use the preposition at. I go to school at 8 a.m. Then at noon, I usually take a lunch break. Noon is 12 in the afternoon. Sorry. Okay. So 12 is 12 in the afternoon. It's told as 12 p.m. Okay. AM is in the morning, PM is in the evening. That's how you consider it. From 12, you call PM, 12 in the afternoon. So when you say noon, it is exactly 12 p.m. Okay. It's not from 12:01, it won't be noon anymore. It will be afternoon. That's why we call it afternoon, right? 12:01 p.m. is afternoon. Okay, so when you're saying 12, it is exact. When you're saying noon, it's exactly 12 p.m. That's the reason you're saying at noon. At noon, I usually take a lunch break. At midnight, midnight is 12 a.m. Exactly at 12 a.m., you say it's midnight. So you're saying at again. At midnight, the stars were shining brightly in the clear night sky. Okay, that is in the middle of the night. 12 a.m. is in the middle of the night. Then in the morning, if you morning is not any specific time, right? It's a time duration. So anytime after 12, people call it morning. They say 3 a.m. in the morning. So whenever you're talking about AM, they're saying it's morning. Okay, so that's the reason you say in the morning, because they have not specified any time. If you're specifying time, you say at 8 a.m. But it can be any time in the morning, you say in the morning. In the morning, I like to have a cup of coffee to start my day. Similarly, in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I like to go for a walk in the park. So they've not specified time. Any time PM is, sorry, till 3 p.m. Okay, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. is afternoon. So they're saying in the afternoon, I like to go for a walk in the park. Similarly, in the evening, from 3 p.m. to 11, you can call it, or actually you can call it night, but you still say evening. I'll talk about this more briefly later. Okay, so now you say in the evening when you're not specifying time again. In the evening, I enjoy taking a peaceful walk in the park. Then if you're talking about a specific day, you say on Monday I have my English class at 10 a.m. On Monday, I have class at 10 a.m. You see, if you're talking about day, you say on, but again, when you're specifying time, you say on Monday at 10 a.m. So Monday was a day, right? Similarly, so is July 15th. You're talking about your entire day on July 15th. So you say on July 15th, we celebrate our anniversary with special dinner. On July 15th. Again, it's a specific day, one entire day. You say on. On New Year's Eve, we gather with friends and family to celebrate the arrival of the new year. On New Year's Eve. So it is a special event, right? The evening before New Year on 31st of December. It's called New Year's Eve. So you say on again. Okay, if you're talking about a entire day, you use on. Then here it says at the beginning. So at the beginning is a very specific time again. Once something begins, it's it's already started, right? It can't keep starting again and again. So once it started, it started. So it's a specific time again. That's the reason they said at here again. At the beginning of the movie, the main character is introduced. At the beginning, the starting point is called as beginning. Same goes for end. At the end of the movie, the hero saved the day. At the end, specific time again. Then you have talking about past, something that had in happened in the previous week. You say last week. Last week I went on a vacation with my family. Family. It's not family, it is family. Okay, last week I went on a vacation with my family. Then, if you want to talk about something that's going to happen in the future, right, you can use next. Next month. I will be going on vacation next month. If it happened before, you say last month. If it's still going to happen in the future, you say next month. Okay, that's when you use last and next. Then you can use this year. This year, I plan to travel to new places. You can say this week, this month, this year. Similarly, you can say last week, last month, last year. Next, this month, last month, next month. Okay, so last, next, and this. Um, Let me see how much time we have. All right. So, next, talking about frequency. Frequency means how often an event occurs. We saw when it happens half a year, we call semi-annual, once a year annual, right? If it happens more often, how will you talk about it? You can say every day, or people use the word daily as well. Something happening every single day, you say every day or daily. I go for a walk every day. I go for a walk every day. I try to exercise daily to stay healthy. I try to exercise daily to stay healthy. Every week I go to the library to borrow books. See how have they used every week? Because it is a weekly thing, right? Weekly process. Every week they do it. It's a weekly process. So they go every week to the library to borrow books. Every month I save some money for my future. Every month. Something that happens monthly. Monthly. Then you have once a week. In 7 days, it happens only one time. Right? So you say once a week, I visit my grandmother. Once a week. Then I go to swim at the local pool twice a month. If it's happening 2 times, you say twice. Once, twice, thrice. Let me write that down. Once, twice, sorry. thrice, then you don't have to worry about the rest of the stuff. You can just count as 4 times, 5 times. Okay? You don't use this more often. You say different things for this stuff. We'll talk about that in a while. But for 1 to 3, you can say once, twice, and thrice. Okay, so here they're saying twice a month, which means 2 times in a month. Then I take my vitamins thrice a day. Thrice a day. 3 times in a day. Okay, then if it's happening more often but you don't know like how frequently it's happening, right? So you can say occasionally or sometimes. So if you are very familiar with the word sometimes, try using the word occasionally instead. Okay, it will be a new word that you will start using from today. Okay, occasionally means sometimes. Occasionally, I like to take a break and relax in the park. Okay, sometimes I like to take a break and relax in the park. Now, if it's happening more often, then you say I often or many times. Often means many times. Okay, T is silent, it's often. Often. T is silent. Okay, often. I often go for a walk in the park after school. Often means many times. Then you have something that barely happens, right? It happens so rarely. You don't see it happen that often. Then you say rarely or seldom or hardly ever. I rarely eat fast food because I prefer home cooked meals. Or you can say, I seldom eat fast food because I prefer home cooked meals. So, whichever word is unfamiliar to you, I want you to practice that so you will learn a new word today. Okay? Occasionally, often, seldom, or hardly ever, rarely. Okay, remember these words for today. Right. So we'll quickly do this one bit. We have 5 more minutes. So yeah. Talking about past, you can use yesterday. Something that happened day before, right? You say yesterday. The present is today. Okay. One day before today is yesterday. Yesterday, I went to the park with my friends. Then the day before yesterday is called as day before yesterday. That's how you say it. Okay. I met my old friend for coffee the day before yesterday. You have today, yesterday, and day before yesterday. Okay, so you're moving back in the past. Then I finished reading the book 3 days ago. So if you're talking way before this in the past, you use like this 3 days ago, 4 days ago, right? 3 days ago. So I finished reading the book 3 days ago. If you don't want to mention how many days ago, you can just say a few days ago. A few days ago, I went to the park with my friends. A few days ago. If it's not in days, some time in the past, you can just say some time ago, I visited a beautiful beach. Some time ago. If you want to go all the way to your childhood, you say, when I was a child, I loved to climb trees. Okay, we are seeing how they're making sentences along with the phrases. Okay, when I was a child, I loved climbing trees. If you want to talk about later on in your life, you say, in my teenage years. Teenage years is from 13 to 19. Okay, so in my teenage years, I enjoyed playing basketball with my friends. From the age 13 to 19, you can call it as teenage years. So these are the different vocab for talking about your past. Then you have similar things in the future. It will be easy now. See, you have today, uh, and now you're going in the future. Okay, the day after today will be tomorrow. Okay, and then you have day after tomorrow. Really simple, right? Yesterday, day before yesterday, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay, I will visit the park tomorrow. I have a dentist appointment scheduled for the day after tomorrow. Then, similar to past, how we saw, you say 3 days from now. In a previous slide, we saw 3 days ago, right? If you're talking about past, you use the word ago, 3 days ago. But when you're talking about the future, you say 3 days from now. 3 days from now, we'll have our class picnic. 3 days from now. In the near future, you don't want to mention any time, so you're just saying, in the near future, I plan to travel to Europe. In the near future. And if it's happening in few days, you can just say, in a few days, we will celebrate my birthday. In a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, you can say any of those. Right. So we'll stop here for now. I'm going to share a form with you to learn few phrases. Take some time before tomorrow's class to answer, okay? So I want you to make simple sentences using those phrases given in those form. They're not that many. There are very few phrases. So before tomorrow's class, try and answer them. We'll review it tomorrow. You can, I will send it in the group as well. So it will be easy for you to, okay. So I have shared the link in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Before tomorrow's class, try and answer that worksheet. I want you to make simple sentences with the phrases given in that form. Okay. Do you have any doubts for today? Ratnesh, Wani?